Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hitman Enter a World of Assassination, and today we will do the first actual episode of the game. There are a total of 7, and we are going to start with the first one in Paris. Like last time, this will also be a post-recording of the commentary, because, as with the tutorial missions, I didn't like the quality of the first one.
Good evening, 47. Your destination is the Paris Fashion Show by Sanguine, one of Europe's leading couture brands. Your targets are Sanguine owner Viktor Novikov, a former oligarch turned fashion mogul, and his partner Dalia Margolis, a retired supermodel, an iconic power couple on the global fashion scene, and two of the most dangerous people in the world. Novikov and Margolis are in fact the ringleaders of IAGO, an enigmatic spy ring that deals in the global elite's most valuable secrets. Unscrupulous and opportunistic, IAGO has caused disastrous security leaks all over the globe. When Crimean separatists caused a deadly meltdown at the Odessa nuclear power plant, IAGO gave them access to the plant's security network. And when the Delgado drug cartel shot down the plane of President Hernandez and his family, IAGO provided the classified flight plans. Now Novikov and Margolis have obtained a knock list of British undercover agents, which they plan to sell at a secret IAGO auction during the Sanguine show. So our client, MI6, need us to stop the ringleaders before the knock list ends up in the wrong hands. The Sanguine show will be swarming with security, and Viktor Novikov will be the focus of everyone's attention. But despite his posturing, he is merely the money man. The real target is Dalia Margolis. Beautiful and brilliant, she is a master manipulator and the true brains behind IAGO. 2 targets, a highly public event. At first glance, an impossible task. Then again, I do know how you love a challenge. I will leave you to prepare.
So, those briefings are some of the... In Blood Money, all the briefing was a monologue by Diana over a text background while you planned your objectives. Whereas in this game, it's still a voiceover by Diana primarily, but there's also they use visuals in a way that really help to convey the message. And even though it's probably a cheaply thrown together scene with some pre-made graphics, it's one of the better briefings in the franchise. The briefings in this game are some of the better made briefings, and I like them a lot. So I usually just leave them be. So as you can see in this game, you can bring in a couple weapons for you at the start. You don't have the vast array of choices that Blood Money provided, but you're allowed to bring in 1 concealed weapon, 2 tools, and you're allowed to have another item smuggled in. And you see that a number of the possible starting entrances and a number of possible smuggling locations are locked, and there is a reason for that, and we'll get to that in the middle of this. Because I like the way the game handles this stuff, and we'll talk a bit more about that as the level progresses. Now you'll notice, if I remember correctly, in this we will take the firewire out of our inventory, and we won't use it. We will use instead the lockpick and the coin like I usually bring in with these missions. You'll also notice in the bottom right I have a mastery level for the Paris mission that goes from 1 to 20. And as you get more experience in each level, you gain more goodies. And we'll explain how to get experience in a bit, because it's actually a really cool system. I think really makes this game stand out just a bit more than Blood Money did, even if you ignore the improvements to controls, the improvements to the stealth. the improvements to the UI. Even then, on a design level, those challenge missions are a bit better.
This is the red carpet event of the season, and the guest list is a veritable who's who of the global fashion elite. You will find Viktor Novikov basking in the spotlight, while Dalia Margolis hosts the heavily guarded auction on the second floor for a group of IAGO's top customers. Now, event security will keep a watchful eye on any suspicious activity, but I trust your timeless look shall fit right in. Good luck, 47.
I'm about to show you one of the very small details that's in this level, in that you see those reporters over there making a report on the fashion show. If you walk through them, the game will recognize that. And that's a really nice little touch. There are a ton of those kind of little touches in this game, and this level in particular. And it's just great that the game allows you to do that, and the game acknowledges that you can do that. And as we go further...
Welcome, sir.
Okay.
Enjoy the show.
That's okay.
Notice another one of those little details about this game.
Look, there he is.
That is Viktor Novikov, head of Sangrin and ringleader of IAGO. Quite the resume.
Now, remember that this was the very first episode of this new Hitman. So while this is, in a sense, the target having a triumphant moment, this is likewise the game heralding a triumphant return to Hitman as it should be.
No. Hold on. He's right.
Keep in mind that for most people, this is one of the very first visuals that this new game offers outside the tutorial missions. So like, this is the first true mission of Hitman.
Goddamn artists. What the hell is he?
Which makes a scene like that pretty powerful. Not in the context of the mission, but in the context of the series itself. Like, this is the game saying, this is the Hitman you know and love, back the way it was supposed to be. And even better than the way it used to be. It's a nice little touch. And just like in the tutorial mission, every level has a ton of opportunities. Including this fashion designer who looks just a bit too much like 47.
My role model since college.
So much like 47 that the two of you could pass as one another. And so since I received that information about Helmut Kruger, I get the intel in my dossier on this level. If I was playing with the opportunities turned on, I would also likewise get a quest objective at this point to find him and dress up as him. But again, as we explained in the tutorial missions, I personally don't play that way.
Nice ducks and all, but tight security means I'm not letting you.
So, as 47, we explore the level to try to find an opportunity to get close to our targets and finally eliminate them.
Hey, Mr. Tux.
The first step to any Hitman mission is, of course, to suss out the crowd and find out what we can do and what we can't do. To poke and to prod.
Hello, sir.
And I started out every one of these missions for the LP at no experience, just so they have the base set to kind of force myself to do this kind of improvising and looking around. Whereas once you get the higher level stuff, you kind of get to bypass most of this just because you have new entrances that allow you to sneak in other new ways.
Shit. Still no answer. What's going on up there?
And here's another opportunity
They know,
where
they know, okay? They know what we're up to.
we learn that
Got Haley and we're next.
one of the
They were
people
supposed to come come here and rub Novikov's nose
who is
in his
working
Please.
for our targets is actually a secret spy for a fashion magazine. So if you look, you can find opportunities abound. You just gotta be willing to do that searching for them. And because I'm a clumsy oaf, I get caught. Fortunately, in this game, unlike in Blood Money, doing one thing wrong isn't going to instantly lead to all the guards shooting me, but it is going to piss off some people, and if I don't go away soon enough, then it can escalate into something even worse. So, at some point, I will remember the way I usually, in quotes, go through this mission,
Please move on.
and restart. I don't actually have any idea what I'm trying to do here. Wow. What a difference a few days makes. Or I guess a few weeks.
Yeah, it's me. Think someone else is here. We'll get back to you.
Alright. So here we are, finding new places to go around, new opportunities. And we see that this news van is looking to do an interview with Viktor Novikov, one of our targets. And since they're civilians, they don't give a shit that we're here. But if a guard sees me, since we're trespassing, they will come. And that's why we kind of have to be sneaky about all this.
What?
Yeah, this is the point where I realize that what I actually want to do is on the complete other side, and rather than just do all the walking back, it's even easier just to restart the mission.
Welcome to Paris, 47.
So what I remembered is that on the left side of the entrance, there is a hotel staff member who will go out to take a cigarette break. And at that point, he'll be away from the prying eyes of any of the guards. So I hurry over here so that I can knock him out, get his clothes, and dump his body in one of the local trash cans. That one right there with the glowing lid. I didn't talk about it much in any of my recordings, but this game brings back the instinct idea from Absolution, except without the shitty blending in with your disguises, because that system's redundant now. Without the way Absolution ruined disguise systems. But it lets you highlight objects of interest in the world. And it lets you see NPC routines. And the reason I restart now is because I don't want to be compromised. Because if I let that person live, then I will have left evidence behind. So, if I had just gone a second sooner before he turned around, I would have gotten it. But since I didn't, I want to do this right. So I restarted the mission and try it again. Going back to what I was saying earlier, Instinct lets you highlight areas, people, and objects of interest in the world that you might be able to make use of. So I leave it on because they don't have the radar or the map that they did in Blood Money, which was super useful. And honestly, it's one of the things in Absolution that was a good idea. they really needed to keep, almost. And just like with the opportunities, you can turn it off at your leisure. So if you want to play without it, you are more than welcome to. But the option is there for people like me who want that kind of aid, or for people who think that they might need it. Even if it's not really necessary, if you do a lot of exploration, you'll naturally find most of the things that Instinct would point out. But it helps if you're in a quick pinch, need like some place to find to dump a body and don't know where to go, and oh, there's a shiny lid there. We'll just dump the body there. So now that I'm just guys at hotel staff, I can walk past these two without even blinking. You'll notice that that woman has a mark over her head. That's because she's a supervisor, and she will notice that I'm not who I say I am if she sees me. So I have to sneak past her, even though I can just walk in front of all the other guards who don't recognize me. And the hotel staff is allowed pretty much free reign of the first floor in the basement.
Huh?
Including the yard in the back, where normal guests aren't allowed. So we use this to get back here to where Helmut Kruger is just landing in the helicopter. Right there.
As if I'm gonna let a waiter through here. Forget about it.
Yes, you read my mind.
Yeah, and there's Helmut Kruger getting a photo op. And so we are going to take Helmut Kruger's disguise and dress up as him, since we have such an uncanny likeness, according to those two strangers. And that will prove invaluable in our efforts.
We need water on table 16.
So, as is natural for Hitman, you just gotta make sure that you're close to your prey. And it's there that I remember that there is a bodyguard that can and will be watching me. Since I've played this mission a couple times, I remember that Helmut Kruger sits there and makes a call to Dahlia Margolis. What I forget is that in this game, if someone's making a call and you're too close, they will get angry at you.
Dahlia? Helmut.
Fortunately, he didn't see me, so we're good. So I try to hide the body in there, and then I royally screw up, because I forgot that those guards are right there behind me.
What? Command, we got a casualty. Proceeding with caution.
And so I pretty much royally fucked this one up.
I need you to stand up.
The way it works is that if someone sees
Hold on.
a body, they will instantly recognize 47, even if they wouldn't have previously. Once they're on alert, they will see through any disguise.
Sorry, it could be anybody.
Whoa,
Man,
whoa, what the hell,
no
buddy?
help.
What's going on
in the
here?
dark here.
What's this problem? Seriously.
So we
anybody
so
know this
yeah,
guy?
I really fucked
I'm
this one up.
serious.
Help! Ah! Help!
So rather than surrender to my inevitable demise, I just reload a save. I'm pretty sure this time I just take out the guard, but I don't know. It's been a while since I actually watched this footage. Just gotta get our way back there now.
Hey, waiter.
And if you compare this to Blood Money, in Blood Money what would have happened is that I would have been shot at instantly. Whereas here, just because I got caught doesn't mean that there's immediately a shootout. I still have some time, a grace period to save myself. Because this game has more than 2 states when doing stealth. Detected it. Like in Blood Money, it is you either are unseen, undetected, or being actively shot at. Whereas here, in this Hitman, there are states. There's transitions between the states. So there's the first state of not being noticed at all, you're good, you're clear. Then there's the state where you've mildly agitated somebody, but you're not suspicious, nothing you've done is illegal. You just kind of piss somebody off. And you can recover from that just by blocking line of sight for a bit. Then there's the state where I know you're not, I don't know who you are. You're kind of suspicious. Like, where you know when you see those lines near 47, that means someone who could recognize me has seen me. And if I don't break line of sight immediately, then I will be caught. But once that's occurred, I'm still not necessarily in trouble yet. All that really means is that, I've been compromised. That the person in question has seen through my disguise and has considered me suspicious. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to be hostile yet, unless I'm in an area where it is marked as a hostile area and trespassers will be shot on sight. All that means is that I need to act quickly or a shootout will occur. And only then, after you have tried all of their patience, only then will they go out for the shootout. And of course, even at that point, even if you break line of sight, then the guards will go from hostile to searching. So instead of just this, either they are not or are shooting at you, there are a ton of states that the guards can enter, which improves the quality of the experience for someone who is more stealth-oriented. A perfect stealth run of a mission in the suit only is viable. There is a challenge in every level for doing Silent Assassin using only your suit and not wearing any other disguise. It requires skill and a knowledge of the level, but it is doable. And here we go again. Take 2 of Helmut Kruger. Actually, you know what I probably did? I'm pretty sure I just dumped his body in the river and killed him.
Not yet.
Which sucks because you get the penalty for having a non-target killed. But if this is for the recording, this is not for my personal glory, so whatever. Who cares?
Fine. I'll be up after the show. Yes, ciao. Dahlia?
Finally. Now this time I don't make that same mistake I did last time and I just dump his body into the river. And because he is going to drown in that water, it is a fatal dump. That will kill him. And I take his phone because I will need that later to complete what I plan to complete.
Enjoy the show, Mr. Kruger.
But just because I have his outfit doesn't mean I look like him just yet. What I need to do next is drop by the makeup chair and get a bit of a facelift.
Mr. Kruger, need a touch-up, I see. No problem, just sit back and relax. Won't take a second.
Appreciate it.
And Novakov trying to take my place. She needs to be
I also love that if you look, they don't change. They don't apply the makeup on the character model until after the mirror, the reflection of the mirror goes through the staff's head. So they have a second to switch out for the texture of the makeup on 47.
There, you are all set, Mr. Kruger.
Good work.
Wow, thanks, Mr. Kruger. Break a leg.
Now that we're all made up, we look fabulous.